Hello everyone. In this video, I will show you how to create a responsive gallery control along with a filter panel which will allow the user to filter the data in the gallery. We will leverage the responsive container controls to create our responsive screen. These containers will fill the screen. For the gallery control, we'll have the filter panel on the right that will show and hide. Plus, we will also show an applied filters panel on the top that will showcase to the user which filters are applied. So let's get started with the step-by-step tutorial. Let's begin with a blank canvas Power App. I will give my app a name, pick the tablet form factor, and click Create. I will create a new screen and leverage one of the layout templates, header, main section, and footer. This leverages the responsive container controls. It has a vertical container that has 3 other containers within it: header, main section, and footer. In my scenario, I don't need a footer, so I can delete this. I'll create the header for my screen. I have gone ahead and uploaded a couple of images. I'll select the header container, and in here I will insert an image control. The header container has a height of 75 and the image control that I just added has a height of 100. So this I will change to 60, and the alignment and container I will center align this. The image I'll pick Power Apps. This control I will copy, Control C, and paste, Control V. The image property for this I will change to Dataverse image that I uploaded. I'll select my header container and insert a label control. I can select it on the screen, right click, and I can reorder the control within this container. I want the label to be in the center of the images, so I'll move it to the left. This container is a horizontal container, and the controls within it, I will have the ability to set its width to flexible width, meaning it can take the width based upon the real estate that's available in that container. If I turn flexible width on for this specific control, you can see how the label control is taking the entire real estate that's available, and the 2 image controls have flexible width turned off and they have a fixed width of 100. The label control, I will center align its text. Its alignment in the container, I will stretch. I'll give it a text. I'll increase the font size. In the main section container is where I would like to add a gallery that shows data from my data source. And I would like to add a filter pane which allows the user to refine or filter the data in the gallery. I would like to position them horizontally inside this container. The main section container has the direction vertical, so I'll change this to horizontal. And in this, I will insert a blank vertical gallery. And for my filter panel, I will insert a vertical container. Both of these controls have the flexible width turned on. The fill portion is 1 of 2, meaning each control within this main section container is taking 50% of the real estate. I will rename this to my filter container. I will turn off flexible width because I would like to define the width of this specific container myself. I will set it to 300. Now at this point, I will go ahead and save my app. The filter container, I would like to give it a drop shadow effect. So it appears like that container is a panel. And to do that, I will go to settings, support, and change the authoring version of my app. The authoring version has to be this specific version or beyond. I'll pick the latest version and click reload and apply. Once the app has reloaded, if I go to settings and support, we can see that the authoring version is updated. Screen 1 is something that I do not need, so I'll delete this. And I've renamed screen 2 to home screen. Now, if I select the filter container, you will note we have a new property called drop shadow. I will set this to extra bold. This gives like a nice drop shadow effect, which makes this container appear like a panel. And all the other containers as well will have that same property. I'll set the drop shadows for those to light. So this is how the screen appears with the panel on the right hand side. With this new version, we also have a new theme, soft blue. I'll go ahead and select this one to change the theme of my Power App. You can select any data source of your choice. In my case, I have a table in Dataverse called work tasks. So I will select this and connect it to my Power App. It's a very simple table. I have the name of my task, the due date, the priority of the task, and work task status. My gallery control, the data source, I will select my work tasks. The gallery is what I would like to represent in the form of a data table, tabular form. I will select the gallery control, click on edit, and insert a horizontal container. This container I will rename to task data container. Its X position I will set to 0, Y position 0, width I will set to parent.template width, and height parent.template height. So this container sits exactly in the template item, which is the first item of the gallery. So if I pick the gallery control and change its template size property to, let's say, 50, you can see how automatically the container fits in that template size that I have defined. The gallery has a property called template padding 20. You can see how the rows in my gallery are spaced out. And this container has the drop shadow set to light. In this container control, insert a label control. Its alignment I'll set to stretch, and I will enable flexible width. Its text I will align in the center. So I have one label right now in this container. I'll copy, Control C, paste, Control V. So that's a second label, third label, fourth label. The first label, its text property, will be this item dot name. That will show the name of my task. Second label, this item dot due date, which I would like to format as month, day here. The third label, I will show the priority of the task, and the fourth label, I will show the status of the task. Now the first label that shows the task name, if you want to give it more real estate in that specific container, the fill portion is 1 of 4. I can increase the fill portion. So if I set this to 2, this gets more real estate as against the other 3. Next, I would like to add header columns for my gallery. And to add that header section right on top of this gallery, I will have to ensure that in my main section container, I add another container, which would be a vertical container. So select the main section container and insert a vertical container. This new container, I am going to rename this as my gallery container. Right click, reorder, move to start. The gallery needs to go inside this container. So right click, cut, select the main container, right click, paste. And in the gallery container, I will insert another container that will show the headers, which will be a horizontal container. This I will rename to gal header container. Right click, reorder and move it above the gallery. I'll turn off flexible height and give it a fixed height of, let's say, 50. Select the gallery header container, insert a label, text alignment center, its alignment in the container stretch, flexible width turned on. I need 4 headers for the 4 columns that I'm representing in my gallery. So I'll copy this, Control C, and paste it 3 more times. So I have 4 different label controls. The first label control, I'll give it additional fill portion. I'll set it to 2. The gal header container, I can give it a background color. I'll pick the blue. And I will select all of these label controls. I will change the color property to white. These labels, I can start setting their text property. This is task title. This is due date, priority, and status. The filter container panel on the right hand side, I would like to show and hide that depending upon an icon that the user clicks. In my gal header container, I will insert the filter icon. I will change the color to white, give it a height of 30, and I will center align this in the container. Its width, I will set to 25. On select of this filter icon, I will set a variable called show panel to not of that same variable. The filter container has a property called visible, which I will set to that variable called show panel. So if I click this, notice it closes the panel, and if I click it again, it will open the panel. If I go to settings and display and turn off the scaling feature, as I start reducing the width, you can see how the controls are repositioning themselves. In the filter container, I will insert a label, center align the text, stretch the alignment in the container. The text I will set to task title, and for the filter container, I will insert a text input control. I'll set its width to 260, alignment center, default property, I will make it empty, and hint text, I will state search in task title. You can also add emojis. In the filter container, I will also insert a button control, center align this. I'll set its text to reset. On select of the button, reset, my text input control. And for the gallery, the items property, I will change this by using the search function on my data source, where the text input control dot text and search in the name column. So if I preview the app, as I start searching, the gallery is being filtered based on the text that I'm adding in this text box. If I click reset, it will reset. Now, when the user has entered some text for searching, I would like to highlight that a filter is applied to this specific column. In this case, task title. Text property, if not, is blank. My text box control dot text. In that case, apply an emoji and append it to task title. We can see we've applied the filter, so it shows the filter. If I reset, it goes away. Let's add two more filters, one for priority and one for status, both of which are choice columns. I'll copy and paste my label control and change this to priority. I'll insert a combo box control. I'll set its width to 260. Center align this. Allow multiple selection. I'll disable this. I'll go to advanced. Find items. I'll remove. If there is no selection made, I will use the text all. And for the items property, I will use the function choices of my data source, which is work tasks, dot my choice column, which is priority. So this will list out all those choices. And these two controls, I will copy and paste them again, because my next filter is on the status column, which is also a choice column. Here I'll change the choices to my work task status column. The reset, I will move it to the bottom. And this filter container, I can give some gap between the controls. I'll just make it 10. When reset is clicked, now I would like to also reset my combo boxes. And for my gallery control, I had the search function. Now I'll add a filter function as well. To filter this, priority column should be equal to priority combo box dot selected dot value. And there could be a scenario where that priority combo box is empty. So I'll add an OR condition, is blank, priority dot selected dot value. I'll put a comma and add another condition very similar to priority. The difference is I'll point to the work task status column and relate it with the status combo box. I'll close the filter function, format text. This is what the formula looks like. Let's pick priority low, so it filters on all the low priority items. Let's say priority high, status completed. So it's applying a combination of the filters. I can even search here. All the three combinations working together. If I click reset, it will clear all the filters. For the priority header, this will be priority combo box dot selected dot value. And then for status, we will check to see if the status combo box dot selected dot value is not blank, then show that specific emoji. You can see the filter is being represented. Status completed. There it is. In gallery container, I will insert another container This will be a horizontal container. I will reorder this right at the top, rename this to applied filters container, turn off flexible height, give it a defined height of let's say 50. And in this, I will first insert a label, the text. I will say applied filters. Next, I will insert the button control. This will show the applied filter for the task title, the text for this button, title, colon, and concatenate this with the text input control dot text. So it will show what the user is searching on. Plus, when the user clicks on this button, I would like to remove that specific filter, basically reset this text box. And to give an indicator that the user can do that, I will also add the X alphabet to kind of show that if you click this, it will remove that filter. And on select of this button, all I have to do is reset that text box. And this button should be visible only if that text input controls text is not blank. Right now the filter is applied, so it shows it. Even if I close the panel, I can see it. If I click this, that filter is removed because that control is reset. I would like to do the same thing for priority and status. So I'll simply copy this button and paste it 2 times. The second one, I will reset the priority combo box. Its text, I will change to priority combo box priority dot selected dot value, and its visibility, show it only if there is a selection made in that combo box control. The same process I will repeat for the last button. You can see how it shows the independent filters. If I reset here, they all will go away. If I start selecting, it will start showing the values, and I can click to remove those specific filters. If no value is selected for filtering in any of my filters, this entire applied filters container is something that I can hide. So I'll set its visibility to if the text input control is blank, or the priority combo box selection is blank, or the status combo box selection value is blank. The moment I make a selection, that panel becomes visible. And if I start removing those filters, you can see how the gallery filter logic is updating on the fly. You can even enhance this experience where I can add a combo box with multiple selections. So you can see I have a categories column, which is a multi-choice selection column in Dataverse. If I pick marketing, it will show me all the values that have the category marketing. If I pick engineering, it will show me all the values where it either has marketing or engineering. And you can see those are lining up right there on the top. Here is an example of that same responsive gallery, like a data table with filter panel and applied filters in action with SharePoint as a data source. Show me all the high priority items, high priority and in progress. Where the task title begins with task 5. All those filters are lined up on the top. Can individually remove them or clear all of them in one go. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching.